for teachers in the state budget, everyone, which passed last week. New York City getting nearly $13 billion from the state, and a big chunk of that money will go towards schools and districts with the highest needs. Joining us this morning to discuss how the state and city budgets will impact teachers is the Teachers Union President, Michael Mulgrew. So good morning, Mr. Mulgrew. Good to see you. Welcome back.
Good morning, everyone. And again, happy Teacher Appreciation Week. The teachers really do a great job here in New York City. And we really want this week to be a celebration because it's a tough job, but it's one they really bring the passion to.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. We all remember and we all have a favorite teacher. So let's talk about, though, the state budget. Right. Big news here, making a big investment in schools. Were you happy with how with the amount of money that was in the budget for schools?
Yeah, the state did a great job in terms of funding our city. They put a record amount of money. They're fully committed to what is known as the foundation aid, which is something the teachers and parents have fought for almost 20 years to get. But now it comes down to how do we make sure that money gets into the classroom? Yeah. You know, the mayor is cutting the budget, which we do not understand. There should be no reason to cut the education budget, and we'll be working with city council and parents to make sure that that doesn't happen.
Okay, so you're actually currently in the middle of contract negotiations. What are your priorities as the contracts are concerned?
Well, there's always the amount of money that we get paid. Clearly, everybody knows what it's like to live here in New York City. It's tough. But it's really about, there's also a big push now to, teachers are sick and tired of having their time wasted on constant redundant paperwork that's being done over and over again. And they're like, we're hired to educate children. We're not hired to create more and more database reports for administrators, and let us do the work of helping your children. We want to spend more time on preparing our lessons for our students, not doing paperwork for bureaucrats. And that's really a big focus of this negotiation.
Right, and these negotiations, they sometimes can be lengthy. Many UFT members, though, we're hearing from are concerned that wage increases will not match what you were just talking about, the inflation, right? Calling for more transparency regarding the negotiations. What are you looking for in terms of a fair wage? Like, what's a number that somebody would be happy with? And how do you respond to the transparency comments?
Well, for us, we're very proud that we have over 500 people on our negotiating committee, which is quite large, to say the least. But we're a very large union. I believe teachers deserve a 10% raise across the board. Yeah. But the city has a different opinion, and that's why we negotiate. And we're, at this moment, we're stuck in what is known as patent bargaining in the city and the state. But we believe that we're now seeing in New York City for the first time, we're having a real problem with attracting and retaining teachers. And a lot of that has to do with the ability to afford to live in this school. So when you have a 500-member negotiating committee representing every single title we have, those folks are doing their communications for each one of the titles. But it would be very, let's just say, we don't want the city to know everything that we want to have. Yeah. That would not be a smart move to do. Right.
So you're saying 10%, but what are they saying?
You hear the chancellor talking about the things that are really important to him. Career pathways, which we fully support. So how do we make sure it's more robust and we're allowing those pathways to grow and get the right support from the Department of Ed? And also, what did we learn from digital or virtual learning through the pandemic? And there are things there that we can do to be creative to help students get access to maybe a particular subject that they don't have access to because there's only a certain number of teachers, or how do we help children who have phobias and different learning issues in terms of actually going into schools. We're really looking at what we've learned from the pandemic, and that's stuff that we like to negotiate about because it's creative and it's a good thing.
Okay, so before we let you go real quick, when do you expect to reach a deal with the city? In the meantime, how do members kind of feel about the whole thing?
Well, first and foremost, people are very upset about the cost of living in New York City, and that a pattern has already been set, and that's part of our frustration in our negotiating committee. But we're hoping to get something. If we're going to do anything in a new program, we're going to have to get these negotiations wrapped up by the end of the school year because it'll take a lot of preparation in the summer. But more importantly for this week, I want everyone to really just thank the teachers, thank the paraprofessionals, the guidance counselors, all the people who work in the schools, the therapists. This is the largest school system. We have over 180 languages being spoken. We have all sorts of social and emotional issues with our children from the pandemic. And the teachers, despite all those challenges, go in every day and they bring the love into those schools and classrooms. And we really want to thank them all the time.
Yeah. Do you think, with a higher salary you could have, that would help with that retention problem you speak of? And
Absolutely.
And expanding outside, and is there a residency requirement?
No, there is not. But a higher salary absolutely would help. There's no doubt about it.
All right, who is your favorite teacher?
Mrs. McKee, second grade.
Second grade. Wow, you go way back.
Right?
Wow, all right.
Yep.
There you go.
All right. Well, UFT President Michael Mulgrew, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And happy Teacher Appreciation Day to all the teachers across the state.
Thank you. All right.